So you watched my video last week and it still didn't help. Man, if only there were more strategies for getting out of loop syndrome. Hello humans and fellow aliens, I'm Sapadia, and today we're going to be continuing talking about this book. If you haven't seen my first video, you can go watch that. You don't need to, but it would be helpful if you're here for the same thing. This book, again, as I said in the first video, it has 3 sections, one for problems of beginning, one for problems of progressing, and one for problems of finishing tracks. These 2 pages are right next to each other in the book, and they are both solutions for ending loop syndrome. This is the page that we're going to be talking about today. It's called Creating Variations 2, Mutation over Generations. It is very similar to last week's strategy for ending loop syndrome, so let's talk about it. All right, so this is a continuation of last week's video, as I've said, so I don't know why I'm saying it now. We're going to go over the second method that I've been using from this book on creating variations, which is creating variation 2, mutation over generations. This is pretty similar to the method that I showed you last week. Pretty similar to last week, we're stuck with a 2-bar loop we don't know what to do with. It's the same 2-bar loop from last time, but I'm going to play it in case you didn't. I'm going to play it in case you didn't hear it last time. I'm going to play it in case you didn't watch last week's video. So we're stuck with this loop. We have it. We've been working on it for like an hour and a half. And it's like finally where we want it. There's nothing else that we can do to it, but we also don't want to continue it. Like we don't know how to go from here. We've put all this work into this section, this 2-bar section of a song that doesn't exist yet, and we don't know what to do with it. So last week what we did was we created a bunch of duplications of this same thing all the way down to 16 bars. And then went one by one and changed one significant thing in each variation. So starting from here, each time one significant change. This method is slightly different because it's mutation over generations. So we're not going to duplicate all the way first. We're just going to duplicate once. I'm going to duplicate this once. We're going to make one significant change. And the significant change that we're going to make is a timbre change. I'm going to bring it down to this new sound here. All right, so we have it like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the duplication. And from here, we're going to do one more significant change. We're obviously not going to do a timbre change back, but I can change the rhythm here. Maybe make it like this. And change this here. And let's see how that helps us. All right, we're going to duplicate that again. We're going to create another significant change to here. Let's have some fun with this. Let's do a rhythmic change and a melody change. So I'm going to have this go up an octave. Like this, and then this is going to go up a 5th, and we're going to leave it there. All right, I like that. Let's make another duplication of it and make one more significant change. We'll do a timbre change, and I think we'll call it a day. All right, let's duplicate that. Create another one, and on and so forth, and until we have however many variations that we want. You can keep doing this all day. The idea of this is not to come up with ideas that you're going to use, but to get out of that headspace that you're in when you're stuck, which is this like you have this loop that you've worked on and you love it and it's perfect and nothing can touch it. It's like your baby, and then you don't want to ruin it. And that's where that block is coming from. You've worked so hard on it, and you're afraid that when you duplicate or when you like expand on it, everything around it isn't going to live up to it. And so this exercise is supposed to help you get out of that and allow you to focus on one thing at a time, focusing on one change at a time, and get back into that creative space to help the inspiration flow. And yeah, you just keep doing this. You just keep doing this. I think we'll do 2 more variations, 2 more duplications. All right. So this is like the full 16 bars of stuff that we've created. And again, we don't have to use any of it. I think that these two are a naturally good progression from one thing to the next. I think that this will be a good section. And then this variation that I created can go right after it. Maybe if I have this be the start of the second section, and we can duplicate this over and find a different thing for here. Maybe like this one. This variation might work really well as the ending phrase for this. So we have this A-B-A-C structure. For this section, instead of that second one, we'll put this at the end of it. We can duplicate this over. We can move this down here for like this variation. Same thing. We're going to delete the end of this. And I think that this one has a really nice ending sound to it. Like it's a good ending phrase one. And so now we have 16 bars. So we have like the first half of a drop. All right, that's a good transition right there into something that will inevitably be a much longer, much fuller drop. And so, yeah, I didn't have to use those ones, or I don't have to like keep this. I can change anything now, but what I have is something more to work with. And in that process, I came up with some ideas that were actually really cool. Like, I really like this. I feel like that has a really good like rhythm to it, and like that would be a really cool section for a song. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. Some strategies for getting out of loop syndrome that I've been using for years. As always, I hope this video was super helpful for you. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe if that was the case. Share it with your friends that are always stuck in loop syndrome. I said it last week and I'll say it again. That's all of your producer friends. Don't even lie to me about it. Next week, I'll be picking a genre that I've never actually made before, and we'll explore my journey into trying to make that genre. So that should be fun. I'll see you next week. Peace.